Hi girls and boys. Today we're just doing a very brief experiment on faith, and we're talking about Abraham in this experiment and about how Abraham and Sarah, they loved God and they both really wanted to have a family of their own. And God had told Abraham that he was going to have as many children as he could see stars in the sky. And I've got some stars right here, and they're just sequence stars. And God also told Abraham that he was going to have more children than there were dust on his land. And this is like, I don't think you'll see that. That is some fine sand that I've got. It's just a funny colour because I used it for gardening. But anyway, that's some sand. So God told Abraham he would have more children than all those grains of sand. And what I've got in here is some water. And I'm just going to show you what happens when we put this together. And it's just going to give you a bit of a look of what Abraham experienced and how he trusted God. And I've got some water in here. I'm just going to start by pouring some water into this jar. See how it goes. Now you could do this at home if you've got a jar, but you will need an adult to help you. Now as you can see, that's going all the way to the top, that water. And I've got a little drop of food colouring. Just put a little tiny bit more in so that you can see. Try and make it a little bit blue without going too blue. Now, if you're using a food colouring like me, you have to be very careful because you can end up with hands that look like this. So you probably need a second person in the room with you when you're doing that, and a bowl to put your pot of food colouring into so that you don't end up with a big mess all over the place. And if you can get it, a wet wipe is helpful as well for your fingers. Okay, now I've got to put in these stars because God did talk about those stars to Abraham. So there you go, you put in as many stars as you like. I use sequence, okay? And you seal the lid really tight and you move it round, your jar round like this. Well, I think my jar might not be a really tight jar, but I'll just give it a go, okay? I'm going to flip it right over and back again. Now you can see how all those stars are in the sky, and some of them have started to fall down around the place and some of them will float back to the top. And that just shows you how Abraham spoke to the Lord and he believed that he was going to have many, many children, and he was going to have as many children as there are stars in the sky and as there is sand grains in sand or dirt. And I just wanted to talk to you about faith, because faith is when you believe in something that you can't see. And sometimes you might pray to God and ask him to help you with a problem or something that's happening in your life, and it might be that your pet is sick and you might ask God to please help heal your dog, even though you can't see that happening right away. If you keep praying and ask God, he can really breathe on that situation and give you a very good outcome. There are times when it doesn't go the way that we ask, because sometimes God doesn't plan for some things to go the way we want them to go either. But anyway, other good examples are that if you trust in the Lord with all your heart and you don't lean on your own understanding, like Abraham did, because him and Sarah left their home, they travelled to a new place and they believed in God all the way, and they ended up having their son Isaac, who had children, and he had great grandchildren and great-grandchildren and so forth, and that was really fantastic. But Abraham and Sarah, they had to get up and move and believe in what God was saying. And that's the same with us. Sometimes we have to get up and move and believe in what God is telling us to do. So if you have the faith to believe in something and you trust in God, you keep giving it to God, you keep praying about it, and you see what God will do for you. Anyway, Burley kids and other children that are watching this, you have a really good week, and we'll catch up with you another time. See you later. Bye for now.